All right, what is going on, everyone? I think we're good to go. I think we are live. Today, we are going to be playing the new Starting Room LTM that they added to Black Ops 6 Zombies. I haven't played it yet. I know it released yesterday. I just wasn't available yesterday to play at all, so we're going to be playing it today. But I wanted to talk a lot about the news we had yesterday that Zombies isn't going to be in COD 2027, because I feel like I've been talking a lot about that with people on Twitter, and it's been fun. I'll admit, it's been fun to like debate it because it's a fun topic to debate. I love debating zombie stuff. So I decided to name that the stream. It's a more interesting title than just saying playing the new, you know, Starting Room LTM. Like, I don't know. There also is a new event, which I actually want to finish this event. This is, I think, the best event they've done in Black Ops 6. So giving all the credit I can to Treyarch for this, because this is actually like a really good event. Not only is there an animated camo as the reward, which is actually a pretty damn good looking camo. Like, how can you look at it here? Yeah, it's a damn good looking camo, man. Well, I guess that's the Black Cell one, but here's the regular one, because Black Cell, I think that is stupid that they would have like a Black Cell. I don't like that, the idea behind Black Cell rewards, but this is still the default one. You get this for free. It's still pretty good. So that's really cool. We get an animated camo as a reward, and the actual event is pretty good because it's actually like challenges. You know, it's not just get XP or earn these collectibles. It's genuinely like, oh, here's challenges you have to do in Zombies. I like that a lot, so I'm definitely glad they have that in this game. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm just gonna start with Terminus, I think, and then we'll just kind of go down the line. We'll do Terminus, then Liberty Falls, and then we'll go in order of like when the map's released, pretty much. I heard good things about this LTM. I heard it's good, but I'm not really sure. Not really sure how fun it's gonna be. How's everyone doing? I just want the Zombies community to be in silence for at least a moment. Get some bearings at least. So yeah, the type of content I do, Zombies not being in silence is the best for me. But no, but I see what you mean though. By the way, my microphone's been kind of like weird lately, so if it like cuts out, let me know. Oh, I forgot this. Ugh. Oh. Ugh. You know, the round change music being the original round change music is pretty cool. But what I'm kind of making noises at right now is I forgot it's cell shaded. I totally forgot. I just don't like how it looks. It just looks like everything's not rendered in properly. Like, ugh, I don't like it. I just don't. But I heard good things about this LTM though, so I'm still excited for it. I just kind of wish they did it like they gave you an option to do it without the cell shaded thing, because I don't know. I don't really like it. Not a fan. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to be kind of hard. Oh, dude, that music makes me feel things. Is there a mystery box? There should be, right? Am I crazy? So is it just, it's literally just a starting room. Wait, is there no mystery box? If there's no mystery box, I'm kind of fucked. I thought there was gonna be a mystery box. Oh no. I might be screwed. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm not really sure about the details of this LTM, the specifics. What's up, Donuts? How you doing? I have a philosophical question for you. Do you think there is an infinite amount of creative ideas for Zombies maps, locations, layouts, wonder weapons, bosses? I think it's kind of the same way I feel about movies. Oh shit, wait, what? Oh, maybe guns and perks and stuff they just drop randomly. Okay. Maybe I don't need a mystery box then. But yeah, so I kind of think there is, but like it's the same way I feel about movies, where inevitably ideas will be very similar over time. Like there's gonna become a certain point where the ideas, they're gonna be taking inspiration from things they've already done. Same way with movies, right? A new movie comes out, it's very unlikely that a new movie is going to come out that has like never been done anything similar to it before. You know, usually there's like something you can think of hundreds of years ago, like decades ago, that was similar to what they're doing now. And like I said, I feel the same way about Zombies, but after it's been long enough since they've done something specific, I think it's worth going back to that, you know? Like, just as an example, I love the concept of multiple starting rooms. Like, we've only seen that on Verrückt, Carrier and Dead of the Night. Those are the only 3 maps to do that, right? And if another map did that in Black Ops 7, for example, I would personally consider that a pretty new feeling thing, even if it's an idea they've already done before. But even that idea can be explored even further. They could do like 4 starting rooms. Imagine, you know, doing a co-op game with 4 players and everyone spawns somewhere else on the map. Like, that would be interesting. Like, I definitely think there's a lot of ideas. And I mean, even just when it comes to like storylines and like settings, yeah, I definitely think there's at least a decade's worth of zombies content that they haven't even done yet. And as technology gets, you know, bigger and better, I definitely do think zombies could last a long time with those ideas, which is part of the reason why I go back to this whole concept of wanting non-Treyarch studios to make zombies. Because I feel like if we only get Treyarch zombies, let's say like every 2 to 3 years, I don't think that many ideas are truly going to be explored. I just don't. I feel like Treyarch, as much as I love Treyarch zombies, they're great. I think ultimately it's going to play it mostly safe with their games, because if they're the only zombies every couple years, they're not going to do anything too different. It's going to probably be round-based zombies like this game most likely. Maybe some classic stuff will return, which I'm hoping for. But like, are they gonna go that extra mile with each map and like really do crazy different things? I don't know. It's hard to say. But like Infinite Warfare World War II introduced so many things that I would argue are better than Treyarch zombies, you know? And like, we only got that cool stuff because of non-Treyarch existing, non-Treyarch zombies existing. Like, dude, I would love to see a fully goofy zombies again, like Infinite Warfare. I would love that. But do I expect Treyarch to do that? No, I just don't. Because I don't think a lot of people would like that. So I don't believe that Treyarch would take that risk to do a whole zombies mode that's so dedicated on being ultra silly and ultra goofy. I think they're going to stick to what they do, you know, with the Black Ops games, where it's like partially serious, partially goofy. There's kind of like a mix of both. I don't see them just going full on like Infinite Warfare ever again, though. But if a non-Treyarch studio was making zombies, I could see it happening. Like, I genuinely believe if Sledgehammer were to make a zombies mode in 2027, they would be the studio to make an ultra goofy zombies experience. I 100% could see them doing that, because their previous multiplayer, MW3, is really goofy. That is like the goofiest multiplayer I've ever played in my entire life. It's like insane the amount of crazy shit they put in it. So I don't know. I just want to see that. I think Modern Warfare should stick to Spec Ops. Whoa. My issue with Spec Ops is, I think it's ultimately just how I feel about third modes. I really do think they should be extremely unique and like set itself apart from the rest of the game. And my issue with Spec Ops is ultimately you're just playing against soldiers, right? You're just fighting AI soldiers. You can do that in multiplayer, you can do that in campaign, you can do that in Warzone, right? So I just don't really get much out of Spec Ops because of that. And like, sure, they can make it crazy, they can make it more in depth going forward, but like, for what Spec Ops has been so far, I just haven't found it that interesting personally. Like, Spec Ops missions are basically just like campaign side missions, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically just that. And then Spec Ops Survival is like, I can get the equivalent experience, not necessarily equivalent experience, but I can get a very similar experience going in custom lobbies and just playing against bots, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that different. So I think that's kind of my issue with that. I do think DMZ is pretty decent though. Like, I personally don't care for it too much, but I do see the appeal in it. I just, again, it goes back to the whole thing where I'd just rather have zombies at that point. Because we all know what they're gonna do, man. We all know what they're gonna do. Season 6 of Modern Warfare 4 is gonna have a haunting event, and it's gonna have zombies just like Modern Warfare 2, and I'm gonna be like, dude, what if this was the whole year? How much better would it have been? You know, because I'm not even the biggest fan of MW3 zombies, but I would much rather have that over DMZ. Much rather have that. Yeah, I'm always going to prefer round-based zombies, but I would definitely be okay with them being like, okay, let's do just open world this year. Like, I would always prefer that over no zombies for sure. But I think round-based is just like, it's so good, and I really don't think they're exploring it enough, like the potential of it. But I think a big part of that is, I just think they haven't had enough resources to do that. Which is, you know, honestly, at least the good news of this whole thing is that Treyarch won't have to make, you know, a zombies mode in 2026 or 2027. That is good news. It is. Even if I want non-Treyarch zombies as much as possible, at the very least, Treyarch isn't going to be putting out too much stuff. And, you know, we'll go back to the same problem we've been having. Because honestly, that means Black Ops 7 is probably going to be pretty filled with content. And, like, I'm assuming the launch content will be, or DLC content will be really good, really consistent. Hope they don't reuse special enemies again for BO7. I think they'll probably, like, for a couple, but I do hope it's not like most of them. I'm expecting like Hellhounds to return maybe, but that's about it maybe. I don't know. Well, actually, I think Outbreak will probably reuse a lot, but the ground-based maps, I think, will probably do something new. So why did I bring in a launcher then? I really thought there was going to be a mystery box. That's why I just said, screw it. Let me bring in a launcher. Oh, no. This is not good. Do you ever get burnt out on zombies if it's out every year? No. I don't. Like, to me, burnout, it only is going to happen if you are playing it too much. But, like, if I ever do feel that way where I'm just kind of tired of it, I just don't play it as much, you know? I go play something else. I don't know. Like, I don't think having Spec Ops instead is going to make that any better for me. It's just, you know. Let me grab this. Even though this is Unpack-a-Punch, it's better than having a launcher. I'm guessing the other maps have mystery boxes, but yeah, this one just doesn't. So I don't think we're gonna make it very far, to be honest. I just don't find zombies fits Modern Warfare, but that could be just me. I don't know. I think it could though. Like, I think we say that because there's only been one Modern Warfare zombie so far, but I'm like, I was thinking about ideas of it, and I came up with so many cool ideas that really excited me. Like, one idea I had in mind was, imagine like a very horror focused zombies experience that is like trying to go for that grounded, realistic feel, but like with the Modern Warfare aesthetic. So just as like a random idea, imagine like the Gulag from Verdansk, like that giant prison. Oh god, we're gonna die. Oh god, parasites are gonna be the death of us. So imagine the Gulag, right? Imagine you start at the top and it's like very horror focused, like limited HUD, you know, no mini map, none of that, just limited HUD. You go in, it's very like grounded and gritty. The zombies are terrifying, like all that, right? And as you get deeper into the Gulag, it gets darker and darker, like you can barely see. So the player has to find night vision goggles, and then now you have to have night vision goggles while you're going through this dark area in the Gulag while zombies are attacking you. And eventually you can come across like, you know, power sources that give more light to the areas. But like, just imagine the aesthetic and how cool that would be, like as its own Modern Warfare zombies experience. Like, I think that would be so sick, but there's just no potential of seeing that if we don't ever see Modern Warfare zombies again. You know what I mean? That's kind of the idea behind it. I think there's so much potential out there for stuff like that. Like, as much as I want really goofy zombies, I also want the exact opposite. I want really serious, grounded, and gritty zombies. Treyarch finds a really good mix of the two, but like, I want both of the extremes in different games as well, you know? That's kind of just the way I see it. The thing with modern zombies is that all studios are working together on the same game. Sledgehammer's influence in modern games is noticeable. The field upgrades some loadout aspects. It's hard to say, because like, I guess we don't really know the specifics of who's working on what, you know? But I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I do know that Sledgehammer did work on Modern Warfare Zombies a little bit. I remember seeing a developer specifically that was very happy to be working on Modern Warfare Zombies. They were really excited for it. Which is another thing. A lot of people are saying, well, what if Sledgehammer doesn't want to make zombies? But part of me just doesn't believe that. Like, go play MW3 multiplayer. There is so much zombie stuff in that multiplayer. Like, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do Horde Point, a Ray Gun LTM, the Vortex maps that are very much zombies themed. They had a bunch of zombies themed modes, like especially in season 2 of Modern Warfare 3, like with the Walking Dead event. They did a lot of zombie stuff in multiplayer. I was honestly like arguing there was more zombie stuff in multiplayer than there was in zombies itself. But not entirely true, but you know what I mean. Like, there was so much crazy stuff they were doing that was zombies themed, and I kept saying like, oh, this would have been great in Modern Warfare Zombies because it's cool stuff, you know? So I don't know. Like, everyone was saying the Vortex maps should have been like Onslaught maps or something. Because they were literally like zombies maps, the way they were designed.
I was bloody invincible. I could rock 'em like that all day.
Oh god, we're dead. We're so dead. We're so dead. This is what I get for spawning him with a launcher. Oh god. Oh my god. Don't let me down, Sigma. Don't let me down. Dear BO7, please bring... please... Oh, I thought you said please... I thought you said don't bring back amalgams. You said please bring back amalgams? Oh no. I can't with those things. I don't get the whole zombies doesn't fit Modern Warfare argument, especially now that all games are on the same engine and the stories are unified. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been saying. Like, I don't really... I think zombies can fit anything if it wants to. Damn. Well, we'll have to move on to the next map. I think Terminus is definitely gonna be the hardest one, though. The other maps, I doubt will be as hard as that. Love the OG music they brought back. Let me read some comments that I missed, because I missed a lot. You guys were commenting a lot. I have to go back and read them. It's Me Poised said, I think, you said this a while ago, by the way, sorry I'm getting into this just now. I think burnout is a real thing, and it would be best not to push zombies every year personally. Give the mode some time to breathe. I would love to see MW do a full take on Spec Ops. But haven't they already done a full take on Spec Ops? I just feel like every time it just doesn't work. For me, personally. Like, I'm totally understandable that some people will like that, but for me, I've just never been a huge fan of it. And they've had, what, like 4 attempts at this point? And I don't know, it's just never worked for me. I think MW2 was definitely the best they've done just because of DMZ. But like, I don't know. DMZ is like fun and all, but it doesn't like hit that zombies itch, you know what I mean? And maybe that's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't be looking for a zombies itch, but I don't know. I just feel like if something's going to replace it. I think Extinction is the closest to getting that zombies itch for me personally. So like Extinction I would be okay with returning, but it's not. Like we're sitting here thinking, you know, non-Schwerg zombies won't happen. If non-Schwerg zombies won't happen, then Extinction's definitely not happening. That 100% not happening. But I don't know. The thing is like I don't think zombies needs this like room to breathe in terms of like existing overall. I do think it needs room to breathe in terms of Treyarch developing it. That's true, just because they need to be, you know, taking their time on their games. I want to make sure they can put out some really good content when the time comes. But I don't know, like we've never gone 2 full years without any zombies content. Like that's the thing I think a lot of people aren't thinking about. We have like literally never gone 2 full years without it. You think all the way back to 2008 when it was first created. Ever since then, we've had at least 1 new piece of zombies content every, like, there hasn't been a bigger break than 2 years, you know what I mean? So like 2 years would be the biggest break we've ever seen, and I don't really want to see that. Like I'm kind of worried that'll do more damage than good, you know? Like would the zombies community just, I don't want to say it would die, but it would just, a lot of people would leave and maybe not even return. I don't know. But I will be fair. I'm going to be as fair as possible. I think this does depend on how good Black Ops 7 is. If Black Ops 7 is like knock your socks off, insane, like I'm talking like it has to be like as good as Black Ops 3. I know we always say we shouldn't be comparing it to the peak, you know, we shouldn't be doing that, but I truly think it has to be as good as that if it's going to keep us, you know, filled for 3 years. It has to be as good as BO3. Like I like BO6, I do. This type of game I don't think would suffice. Like it wouldn't suffice.
And I'll do it again. Many
for like
times.
More than 2 years of no zombies, you know. But let's say Black Ops 7 is that good, then I'll eat my words, honestly. I'll accept it. I'll be like, fuck it. We got one of the best zombies modes ever, so I'll definitely be happy at that point. There's always exceptions. Like I always say this, there's exceptions to everything I say, and that is one of the exceptions. Also, Black Ops 8, you know, whenever Treyarch does their next game, if that ends up being incredible too, it also would make up for it, because it'd be like, you know what, we had to wait a while, but we got a masterpiece, you know, eventually, so that's fine too. I don't know, I think I am also worried as a zombies fan. I'm also worried, like, if there's too many breaks, like, I just don't want to see zombies not have that interest anymore, you know what I mean? Like yes, there is such thing as like, okay, if you do too much it might make people not interested, but I really do believe that only happens if the content's not good, you know? which is kind of what I feel like happened with like Vanguard and like MWZ. I'm not saying I hate MWZ. There's definitely some good things about it, but I do think, you know, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like Vanguard. Oh, we got double tap. Nice. I think everyone didn't like Vanguard, actually. Cold War had some lovers, some haters here and there. It just kind of just depends. This game, I think, is mostly loved, but I've seen some hate for it. It kind of just depends on the circles you're talking to. But I think the issue is that a lot of this content has been, like, mechanically a little too similar. I think that is kind of the issue. So, I don't know. I feel like there's ways to balance it. And also, let's say they don't go back to classic mechanics. That's another thing. I think our best shot at seeing classic mechanics would be a non-Treyarch studio as well. Like, there's so many reasons why I think they should have zombies, you know? Plus, I want the community to not have an extra thing to point at and get angry at. I want it to be silent for a little bit. I don't know. I don't really like, at least for me personally, like at the end of the day, the community is going to be, there's going to be people who hate and stuff. There's going to be people loving stuff. Like, it's always going to be like that. I don't really think no matter what they do, it's going to change that. And that's okay. Like, that goes for any community on planet Earth. It's not just like the zombies community. It's literally anything. And that's fine. Like, if let's say Sledgehammer makes a zombies mode in 2027, right? And let's say there's lots of people who hate it and they use it as something to say, oh, look at zombies, it sucks now.
Pretty.
Just, you know, forget about those people. I don't know. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it, and that's all that matters. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I'm definitely disappointed. It sounds like it's not going to be futuristic, but I also want to say, I want to just say this right off the bat. I think it's very likely that these leaks aren't 100% true, or they're not fully accurate, or like there's more to it. You know, I just want to throw that out there because I do think we are all talking about it like it's 100% happening, but I don't know. Part of me believes it might not be true, just because I do think there's a chance that maybe they're doing some fake leaks here and there. I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe it's just the current plan, but plans can always change. Like, especially for zombies, right? Zombies they could decide they want to do zombies like next month, and then they can start developing it. Like, that could happen. Zombies is usually made in less than 2 years, so it wouldn't be like too late to do it either. So I don't know. We'll see. I have no clue what's actually going to happen, but I'm inclined to believe the whole not futuristic thing personally, but the zombies thing I think is highly likely to change. Highly, highly likely.
At this point, I don't care if it shoots.
Loved your playthrough of Arkham Asylum. Just finished it. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. I just started Arkham City too. It's really, really fun so far. But I didn't upload that video yet.
Let's make a racket the neighbors will complain about.
Sucks that these are just a filter put over the regular maps. Yeah, I kind of wish they did this LTM without the filter. XpertFusion finally loses his marbles. I think Spec Ops could be made very well, especially a good survival mode. I just like, I don't know. Look, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed MW3 survival. I did. But again, it's just, you're just fighting soldiers on the multiplayer maps. I don't like, to me, if something's going to replace zombies, it needs the same level of depth and uniqueness. That's what it needs, right? To me, survival, genuinely, I feel like you can easily, and I don't know everything about game development. I don't believe that couldn't be put alongside zombies and it would have a very small development time. Like, it's just literally multiplayer maps with like soldiers that spawn in, and then like there's nothing unique about it, you know what I mean? There's no unique assets being made for that mode. So when I see that, I'm like, why can't that just exist anyway? I feel like that wouldn't, I don't know. I guess it did in Advanced Warfare, right? Advanced Warfare had zombies and exo survival. But I don't know, I don't see that as a replacement. You know, Extinction, I can see as a replacement because that does have a lot of unique assets, and it's, you know, very, very unique. That's definitely not something that could be made quickly, but I don't know, Spec Ops just doesn't really do it for me. Like I said, if there's no unique assets, it just doesn't feel like its own thing. I don't know. I get why people like it. Like, don't get me wrong, I had fun with Spec Ops back in the day, but is there ever going to be like a Spec Ops community? I don't know. The DMZ has a community behind it. I'll give it that. Like, I keep saying, you know, DMZ is the only like thing I've seen in a while that I feel like could compete with zombies, but it doesn't compete in the same way though. You know, I feel like most DMZ fans that were coming from Warzone, and then there was a lot of zombies fans too, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it was also like very connected to Warzone because it was PvP, right? I'm sure they'll do PvE only mode though in MW4 DMZ. I wouldn't be surprised. The worry I have with having round-based zombies every year is that we will speedrun through all the ideas without giving enough time to really flesh them out. I get what you mean with that, Donuts, but honestly, like, I really do think there's so many ideas that round-based could do. And honestly, like, this is the cynical part of me, because I'm a cynical person sometimes, I'll admit, but like, I'm worried, like, what if in, like, I don't know, let's say Treyarch is the only studio that makes zombies from now on, and they only make it for their own games. Let's say that happens from now on. That means we'd be seeing zombies next year, obviously, but then also 2028 and then 2031. So that only gives, after Black Ops 7, 2 years of like zombies content that would be, you know, new ideas and new stuff. And like, it's just crazy to think about that, because it's like, bro, I'll be 31, and that's the cynical part of me where it's like, that by that time I'm worried, will I even want to play zombies anymore? I hope not. I hope I do want to still play zombies by then. I hope I'm still interested in you know, integrated with the mode. I'm sure I will be, but like, I don't know, man. It's just, that's so long from now. I might have a family by then. I don't know, man. And it's like, if it's just Treyarch, I feel like we lose out on the ideas that could be presented within the round-based formula, you know what I mean? But ultimately, like I said, if they want to do open world zombies like on an off year, sure, I'm fine with that. Better than nothing. I'll still be sitting there being like, I want round based instead. But you know, if open world can do some crazy shit better than what they've done so far, I'm open to it. You know. But I really do feel open world is at its best when it's like a sandbox of the round based content. You know, I think that's what. I mean, honestly, in a way, that's what MWZ felt like, because there wasn't a lot of original stuff in that game when it comes to, like, obviously, like, the enemies were all from Cold War. The wonder weapons were mostly reused except for the Scorcher, obviously. And then there was, obviously, the maps and stuff from Warzone and stuff. But, like, to me, that's just what it works as, is, like, you have a game with a bunch of round-based maps, and then you play the open world map to, like, have a full sandbox where all that content is combined, which is what I hope Black Ops 7 Outbreak is. I hope it's literally all the Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 content just like shoved into this big open world experience. But I don't know. Guess we'll see. But I do think there's so many ideas they can do. I'm like such a psycho when it comes to this stuff that like I've been writing in a document all these ideas for zombies, and I might share it one day once I have like a better structure with it. I was going far with it. Like, I'm talking like wonder weapon concepts and like maps and Easter eggs and just all this crazy shit. And a lot of it is improbable, because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I don't think this will ever be like something that the studio could actually do within like 3 years. But you know what? They're just ideas. They're just ideas. I don't know. Problem is, in 2019, it's mid as fuck, with maybe the exception of Crosswing. Oh, you're talking about Spec Ops. I don't know what Crosswing is, though. Or are you saying crossplay? Maybe you meant crossplay. Extinction walked so IWZ could run. Release Extinction 2.0. I don't think we'll ever see Extinction again, to be honest. But like I said, I'd prefer that over Spec Ops for sure. Do you think the IW perk system is superior to the classic perk system? Oh yeah, just because of the fact that there's a 5 perk limit and you can change them whenever you want. You're 100% right. World War II zombies and IW zombies had such different theme. It opened the door for even more ideas, which is good if non-Treyarch studios make zombies. Yeah, exactly. Like, those games, like, I don't know, people say that they were fatigued from zombies, but like, I don't get it, because those games are so different. Like, yes, the core foundation is similar, but they're so different in the setting, the tone, the story, like, even just the types of, like, the way the maps are designed. I don't feel like they felt the same at all. Very different ideas. And I don't know, that's just the way I see it, because, like, maybe this is just, you know, a closed-minded way to think, but I do feel like Call of Duty at its core had the 3 pillars of Call of Duty, right? Linear campaign, 6v6 multiplayer, round-based zombies. And sure, having some extra stuff on top of that, like attempting open world campaign, open world zombies, sure, like doing it here and there is fine. You know, ground war, multiplayer, gunfight, sure. But I feel like those 3 pillars need to be the main pillars. And I feel like if we're only getting round-based every 3 years, it's not really being fulfilled as a main pillar of Call of Duty anymore. And so I think that's kind of where I'm at with it, you know? Because I think like the way I feel about open world zombies is like, again, although I don't mind seeing it, it's like I feel like at the end of the day, there's so many other games that do open world zombies just 100 times better. Like I can go play Dying Light for open world zombies, you know, like that already delivers that sort of experience. Whereas like a round-based zombies, like horde mode with like the point system and everything, like I just don't feel like there's many games like that out there, you know? I think zombies does it best, so immediately I'm so interested in it. And same thing goes for like ground war multiplayer. Like I always want them to care more about 6v6 more than anything, because if I want to play ground war, I can go play Battlefield. Battlefield does the big team stuff so much better than Call of Duty does, right? But 6v6, I don't think there's any game out there that does it better than Call of Duty. So, you know, that's kind of the way I see that. The hell just exploded. But like I said, I'm okay with them doing stuff outside of it a little bit, just not too much. All right, let me scroll down a bit because I don't want to be too far behind the chat. Round-based is the best, and if we can't have it, IW should at least try Extinction again. Yeah, but like I said, I don't think they will. I write that off so much as I would like to see it, because if Infinity Ward didn't want to do zombies because they thought zombies didn't fit Modern Warfare, then there's no way they would do Extinction. I think even Extinction wasn't in Infinite Warfare because they thought it was too far for Infinite Warfare, which makes no sense. It like genuinely makes no sense. I don't know who said that, but it made no sense. I still don't believe it to this day, because I was like, that makes like, what do you mean? I think the exact quote was, going to space was already a big jump for Call of Duty, so adding aliens was too far. But like, A, that makes no sense because the first zombies map literally has an alien boss fight, so what are we talking about? But second of all, like the game was already so goofy. How does Extinction make it any more goofier? I don't know. I mean, I'm glad it happened though, because Infinite Warfare Zombies is a masterpiece. I'm just saying, it just doesn't make any sense. And you know, honestly, let's say the studios don't want to make zombies. Let's say that, which I don't fully believe. I feel like it's probably the higher up saying that. I don't believe every single developer is like, yeah, we don't want to make zombies. I don't believe that. Let's say they didn't though. Activision has so much resources, so much money. Hire another studio to make zombies, whether it's fucking Beanox or something. I don't know. Like, you know, actually hire people for it. I know they keep doing these layoffs, so that's not going to happen. But let's say they did actually hire people to make it, right? Then you could have zombies with the game, right? And if, you know, the other developers didn't want to make zombies, they can go make whatever else they wanted to make with part of the game. You know, I don't want to see developers forced to make something they don't want to make, but like, then allocate your resources towards studios that can make those things, you know? So I guess we can't pack a punch in this mode, right? Am I right? Which makes sense. It's a first room challenge. We need a Vanguard Zombie sequel so bad, definitely. 100%.
You walk a really fine line between love and dark, murderous fucking rage.
Oh god. Cornered. Ow! It hit me real good. If other studios make a zombies mode in the respective games, I just hope they feel and play different than Treyarch. Yeah, I agree. I don't want to have to use a Warzone HUD or 3 PAP levels or rarity system. That's what I'm saying though. Like, that's the thing. I wouldn't be against these modern zombies mechanics if like the non-Treyarch studios went back to classic mechanics. Then we would have the best, we would ever everything, you know? If you don't like the classic stuff, you stick to the Treyarch games. If you want the classic stuff, you play the non-Treyarch games. I don't know. I feel like you get the best of both worlds that way. I do expect them to do a classic mode next year, though. I'm fully expecting that, but I don't know how far they're going to go with it, though. That's my concern. Like, I'm telling you, if they don't change the point system, it doesn't matter to me, you know? Like, you know, if they don't change the point system, I'm just not going to be that interested in that classic mode. Yeah, definitely. Like, when I say zombies every year, I'm only saying it should be each studio making it, not Treyarch. Never, I don't want to ever live in a world where Treyarch is making zombies every year. That would be terrible. because they've kind of been doing that for a bit now, except for like, you know, 1 or 2 years here or there. Like, they've been making a lot of zombies, and they definitely should be, for sure. Or they definitely shouldn't be making zombies almost every year. But I do think, like, it's kind of partially why I really do feel like Vanguard really set zombies back quite a bit, because it made people think that that's what non-Treyarch zombies would be. So I do think a lot of the people who don't want to see non-Treyarch zombies, they do think that it would just be like Vanguard. And I'm like, well, no, because if it's the other studios making it, I would assume it wouldn't turn out that way. It's just, it was a very small subsection of Treyarch that was making it, right? Because they just didn't have the time or development, like, they had the resources for it, I guess.
Well, that's just good,
And at that point, honestly, if you don't have enough resources to make a third mode that's like actually full and complete, delay the game then, you know?
That was a kind of
But
level rager.
I don't know. Activision doesn't like delaying games, so they probably won't do that. I really don't get the devs' obsession with cell shading. I think it looks so bad. I don't think the devs are necessarily obsessed with it. I think it's just like a lot of these things are just like mandatory because like there's some sort of collab that is connected to it or whatever, and then they have to do something that's similar to it. I don't know. BO3 Zombies has been the only thing to scratch the itch since Black Ops 4 ended. Customs is always going to be good. I'm always going to be a fan of customs. Some really cool maps that are being created for that. But honestly, with customs, and this is no offense to custom creators at all, I've never felt the urge to play a map more than once. Like, there's so many maps, so it's not really a huge deal. Like, I'm always having a new map, but like, if I beat a map, I don't want to play it again. You know? Like, I don't feel that way with Treyarch. Like, I'll play maps again and again in Treyarch, but if it's a custom map, I don't really usually care to play it again. And I don't know why that is. I've never really fully understood it. I don't know. Mod tools will be nice though, just unlimited content would be so good. People truly underestimate the open sandbox aspects of round-based zombies. Just because it's not an open world map doesn't mean it's incredibly restricting. True. That is true, but here's the thing. I think there needs to be, like, it's hard to say because I do think the sandbox element of zombies is great, but I do think in some ways they've taken it too far to where, like, for example, I don't like the idea of like every single thing in the game being on every map. I think they need to go back to each map having its own respective sandbox and going far with that sandbox, you know, and they need more resources to be able to manage that, of course. Like, if it was in an ideal world, right, I think we would have
Any of you hotshots want to beat my high score?
we would have
Just give me
at
something that
least
shoots
like
straight from the
3
top.
zombies unique score streaks per map, for example, right? And preferably not score streaks that are in the crafting bench, like score streaks that you're actually unlocking through like a side Easter egg, but 3 zombies unique score streaks per map that fit the theme of the map. So like, I'm not going to think of, you know, ideas off the top of my head, but like things that would fit it, right? But they don't have time for that, clearly. They just don't. So that's why stuff like that's not happening. And instead, we only have the mutant injection that's on every map, and I guess the Mangler cannon as well. And that's all they do. And then when they add new score streaks, it's just like the multiplayer score streaks just kind of thrown into zombies, and they throw in every map. And so that type of sandbox I'm not a fan of because it doesn't allow for the maps to have that unique flair. But if they go back to like maps having their own respective sandbox, then I'm all for it. And I think that works. Like Infinite Warfare did great with that. So many unique things on those maps. Black Ops 3 with like the Dragon Strike controller on Garad Krovy, and then like, you know, obviously Spider Bait on Zetsubo and the masks and stuff. Like those are so much unique things, and that's what I want back from round-based zombies more than anything, I think. Also, I'm like 90% serious. We should cover IW zombies and World War II zombies as if they were new. Honestly, I'm so down for that. 100% I'm down for that. Because you are right. I saw your tweet the other day. Like, there's not a lot of like videos on those games, like, at all. Like, trying to find a good guide on World War II zombies is pretty tough. Because, like, not a lot of information's given. Smart Guy has some pretty good World War II guides, though. He did a good job with that. But, like, as an example, there's so many unique Pack-a-Punch abilities on the World War II weapons, most of which I never knew about until, like, recently. And I only never knew about it because, you know, no one ever really talked about it. But it's a really cool aspect of that game that, like, if people knew about, I think they would have more reason to go play World War II. So that's why I've been like advocating so much for non-Treyarch zombies. I just feel like this type of stuff is so fun. I don't know. I also like underdog stories. Maybe this is the underlying, like, I try to do like introspection as to why I feel certain ways, and it might honestly be that I like an underdog story. Like, I love the idea of everyone being like, oh, non-Treyarch sucks, and then non-Treyarch zombies comes out and it's like the greatest thing ever. I just love that. Love underdog stories.
This is me being efficient.
Max armor.
Finally got, did I get the S6 finally? I don't know, it said Armory Unlock, and I think it looked like the S6. I'd want Treyarch to make round base, Sledge to make MWZ, and Infinity Ward to stop. Infinity Ward to stop. Damn. Honestly, if it was up to me, it would be the difference between the modes would be more about the tones. It would be like Treyarch doing a mix of serious and goofy, Sledgehammer doing goofy, and then Infinity Ward doing serious. But it would all be round-based zombies, and then you would still see some open world zombies here and there. Like, I'm sure we could still get open world alongside those modes, but that's what it would, if it was up to me entirely, that's what we would be getting. But like that like realistic zombies idea I had for Infinite Warfare, or not Infinite Warfare, Infinity Ward, like I feel like it should go pretty far with it, to the point where like even the way the zombies health works should be kind of realistic. I think that'd be so interesting. It would be so different. Like, imagine if like zombies will almost always die within like a couple bullets, but you have very limited ammo, so it becomes more about resource management as opposed to like, you know, just survive when you can and train around. Like, it's more about making sure you have enough ammo. Like, the way you're gonna die is normally because you're behind a corner and you have no ammo, something like that, right? Where it's all about resources. And like giant hordes of zombies to the point where all the ammo in the world can't even kill all of them. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting. And then Sledgehammer would just be like crazy fun, goofy zombies. Like, you'd be seeing a zombies map on like a cruise ship where zombies dance on the dance floor, and the boss is a giant dancing kraken or something. I don't fucking know. Like, it would just be crazy shit. Like to me, that is what would be fun, you know? Your perk luck is insane right now. It is pretty insane. I didn't even notice we got jugged, to be honest. Like, I see it now, but I didn't even notice. My dream is a MWZ style mode that is much more fleshed out, a zombies themed map, enemies from all zombies history, consistently updated with new objectives. I do think that would be pretty cool. Like, if they were to do all that, I'd be down for that.
I don't know how, but it feels like this stupid box is smirking at me.
The only reason I don't see that happening... Oh god, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Get me out of here! The only reason I don't see that happening is because they always make these really big maps for Warzone, and then they just don't end up using them. Like what is happening with Avalon. So I think they're going to end up using Avalon for zombies because they need to use it somewhere. They can't just make a whole map and not use it for anything, you know? So I think that's why we end up getting those maps. Or they want their Warzone map, even if they use it for Warzone, they still want to use it for zombies because zombies is at least going to last forever, whereas they're going to remove that map in Warzone within a year, you know? Like, if you want to play Urzikstan, you can still go back to MW3 and play it in zombies, but in Warzone you can't, you know? So I'm not really ever expecting a zombies unique open world map, but who knows? You never know. There was rumors that we might be getting a DMZ unique map, but I honestly don't see that happening either, but who knows? Who knows? I just don't know why would they, if they were going to put in DMZ, like, they might as well just put it in Warzone 2 as an extra map, you know? I don't fucking know. But like, if it's specifically, or actually, let's say this. Let's say it is a zombies unique map. Damn. Let's say it is a zombies unique map, but it's also used for Warzone. Like, let's say it has the zombies locations, the zombies POIs, but they decide to also, that would be cool. I'd be fine with that. generally don't hate modern zombies. I even like the gameplay mechanics. I just think they need to be more zombified. Yeah, they definitely need to be more zombified. That's true. Games like Dying Light and Dead Island exist for open world zombies, but as far as I'm aware, MWZ is the only game to make an extraction shooter with zombies. Is it actually? I'm trying. You might be right, but I feel like there's got to be at least another extraction zombies game out there. I don't know. I don't really want open world zombies to be extraction though, like in that sense. Like obviously there should be exfilling as an option, but I don't like the limited time. Like that's my biggest issue with MWZ. I don't like the limited time. Like you have to leave after 40 minutes. Like I think it should just be jump into this open world, do missions however you want, and you're done when you die, you know? But if you want to extract, you can extract to save whatever stuff you have. Maybe like the reason to extract is to make sure you secure the items you've secured. But if you want to keep playing and risk those items, you can still do that. Like I see no reason why making it limited time. The only reason I think it was limited time is because it was online, like you're playing with other people. But if they were to make it solo, then you don't really need limited time, you know. All right, let's play Citadel, which should be a lot easier than a lot of these other maps. Let's change our gun as well. I mean, we're not going to stick with it because I don't think there's a... Oh no, there is a thing you can upgrade your rarity at in the starting room here. I'll use the Kilo though. Kilo's fun. Actually, wait, hold on. Back up. There's a challenge where you have to get kills with a rocket launcher, so I need to run a rocket launcher. That's why I ran it first, I think. Because I wanted to do that challenge. I don't know what it is though. Where is it? It's 20 zombie multi-kills with a rocket launcher. Okay. We can do that. Aliens make more sense than zombies in a space-themed game? Probably, but I'm glad they did zombies instead. If we don't have zombies for the next 2 years, then BO7 better be the next BO3. That's what I'm saying. I played Resident Evil 2. That's the only Resident Evil I played. No Pack-a-Punch except for the Tomb. Yeah, see, honestly, I thought they just like threw a Pack-a-Punch in all these maps just for the LTM, but I'm kind of glad they didn't. I think it makes it more of a, you know, authentic first room experience. I'm more upset that we are possibly going to have 2 more years of modern era aesthetic. Honestly, I feel like Sledgehammer is going to find a way to do something different with it. And here's the thing. Look, I think the only reason they feel the need to do this modern aesthetic is because, quite frankly, the Call of Duty player base is very, like, in the nicest way possible. A lot of people are just kind of strange when it comes to what they are interested in. Like, they're so limited. Like, there's people out there, anything slightly too creative for Call of Duty, they're like, it's too much. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, literally anything that's slightly futuristic to some people is like the end of the world. I'm like, how, like, do you really want the same modern aesthetic for every game? I don't get that. But that's why I think they're going to keep that at default, like, so they can get people to buy the game. But I think in the DLC, Sledgehammer is not going to do a boring game all year long. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to do some crazy DLC. I wouldn't be surprised if we get jetpacks in an LTM throughout the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get laser weapons. Like, I think Sledgehammer is going to do that, but I just don't think they're allowed to do an Advanced Warfare 2 because ultimately it probably wouldn't go over well with the community. Like, look at the Black Ops 7 reception. There's people who are already hating on it because it's too futuristic. So, you know, I just think ever since the 4 million dislike Infinite Warfare trailer, I think that Call of Duty's been kind of scared to do that kind of stuff again, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it's just the way it is, I guess. I do think they'll take more chances in the DLC, though. Remember, players who got into / got back into Call of Duty since BO4 have only had zombies made by Treyarch. That's been the reality for a long time. Exactly. A lot of people don't even know much about the non-Treyarch games, really, because they just haven't played them, which is fine. Like, I don't expect everyone to play everything, but like, it is kind of goes to show where, like, I would love to see them take a chance on that again, so people can see what it could be, you know? And also, a lot of people don't even know that Treyarch made Vanguard and MWZ. There's a lot of comments I see where people think that those were made by Sledgehammer. Like someone said Sledgehammer's track record with zombies is terrible. They've only made 1 out of 4 good zombies modes that they've made. But they've actually, in reality, only made 1 zombies mode. Right? Actually, a lot of people don't even like World War II zombies. But let's say you did like World War II. That's technically the only one they made. They didn't make Advanced Warfare. Raven Software made that. They obviously didn't make Vanguard or MWZ. They had developers work on it for sure, but it wasn't like their product. So I think I want to see Sledgehammer just like finally get the chance to make the zombies mode themselves. If they want to make it, like I said, if every developer there doesn't, then I guess it's a different story, but I just don't believe that. I just don't. And like I said before, even if they didn't, maybe find some people who do want to make zombies and then hire them, but don't fire anyone. Don't fire anyone. Just hire more people, you know? COD makes billions of dollars a year. I don't know why they can't do it. It won't happen. I know. It won't, but they make billions. They should be able to. Instead, they lay off people every other day for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Nice. Definitely needed these.
You know exactly what this girl wants.
Plus, having a different studio than Treyarch is so refreshing, not having Dark Ether 24/7. Yeah, also, that's another thing. It's not just about, like, the aesthetic and, like, the gameplay, but also the story. Like, people who love the story, we're more likely to get unique and interesting stories if it's, like, other studios making it entirely, you know? I would love to see a new story. Or even, hell, a continuation of a prior non-Treyarch story that... I mean, personally, for me, if it was up to me, I'd be calling up Lee Ross instantly, like, within seconds. I'd be saying, yo, Lee Ross, you still got those plans for Infinite Warfare Zombies 2? You want to deliver them? Because, you know, he said he would return, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. He said he would return if he was given creative freedom to do whatever he wants with it, which wouldn't happen, unfortunately. But I'm just saying, that'd be fucking great, you know? That'd be incredible. Well, let me try to get some multi-kills with this thing. Wait, was it just multi-kills or was it like a specific amount? I actually don't remember.
The box hates me.
Oh well.
Okay, I do.
World War II has almost no side Easter eggs. They were lacking in side eggs, but they made up for it with the most like complex Easter eggs ever. Like they're so in depth. So like I didn't really care too much because of that. But some of the maps do have side eggs. I would say Frozen Dawn has a decent amount. You have the Darkened, or what's it called? It's the Perkaholic side egg. I forget what it's called, but like you go into this weird place and then you have the ability to get Perkaholic. There's also the Raven's Claw pistol, which was really cool. It like you shoot the zombies in the heads and then like crows come out of them and start attacking other zombies. That was a side Easter egg. There was another one in that map. The vintage, PPSH, the classic PPSH. I think that's on most maps, actually. But that's another thing, actually. Who said that? Skylar. That's another thing. Most of those side Easter eggs aren't even, like, known about because people haven't made videos on them. Like, I had no idea some of those existed just because, like I said, nobody made a video on them. I only found out because someone was talking about it on Twitter one day, and I was like, oh, I gotta find out how to do that, and I had to have someone explain it to me. Because nobody made a video on it.
Any of you hotshots want to beat my high score?
But yeah, like I said, those maps are so in depth with the Easter egg that I don't really mind it too much. Like they're long Easter eggs, like especially the final Reich. It's like holy, it's like a 3-hour Easter egg. I mean, you could do it faster than 3 hours, but whenever I do it, it usually takes me like 3 hours. And there's like what, like four wonder weapons on that map, I guess. Ow, get out of here! You think we're getting a grappling hook in DLC 4? It would be a missed opportunity if we don't. Oh, definitely I do. I'd be shocked if we don't. And honestly, I think it would be like... It would probably be the most... it would be one of the worst things reception-wise that can happen to, like, Treyarch in terms of, like, Black Ops 6. Because, like, I think it's been, like, one of the most common things people have been asking for since the start of Black Ops 6. And everyone was saying it would be perfect on Janus Towers. And like if that just ended up not happening, people would be so utterly disappointed to the point where I think it would automatically start off with huge negative perception of Janus Towers. Look, if it doesn't fit in the map, it doesn't fit in the map, sure, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer that it should be on the map. But if they didn't design it around it, I guess they can't just force it in there, you know. But people will be upset, though, for sure. I wouldn't be like, you know, the map could still be good without it, but I think that would definitely be at least one thing to set itself apart from other maps, for sure. Also, World War II and IW is better than any recent Zombies game. I personally agree. Might be a hot take. I think World War II and Infinite Warfare are better than every Zombies game that has come out in the modern, like the Warzone era of Zombies. I didn't used to feel that way, though, actually. Infinite Warfare I always thought was better, but World War II, I used to think Cold War was better. And I actually probably would have said Black Ops 6 was better when the game first came out, when Black Ops 6 first came out. But I've been going back to World War II a lot over the past year. And man, I think it's so much better than I ever gave it credit for. I think it's so much better than most people gave it credit for. So I do agree.
Got plenty more where that came from.
Are we saying that the plant system is fun from BO3? Oh, of course. I actually love the plant system. I'm such a sucker for that. I don't know why. I love the plant system. Ow. Stuff like the plant system is stuff like that is what we need again in Zombies. It's like a really complex map, unique mechanic. That's what I like. Hell yeah, Perka. How you doing, by the way? I completely agree that I would love to see. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm like reading some of these comments. These are probably said like 10 minutes ago. I'm just I'm trying to read as many of them as possible, which is why it's taken me so long to get through it. And I don't like reading over comments and then like not like talking about it for a bit, because then I feel like I'm not giving the person the time of day, you know what I'm saying?
Dad would have been proud of that one.
I completely agree that I would love to see a non-trailing Zombies again. Only thing I disagree with is it being in every game going forward. I'm fine with 1 or 2 games going without it. Honestly, I kind of agree with that. Like, I was kind of accepting the fact that MW4 probably wasn't going to have zombies, and I would be okay with it. It's like not the end of the world. Obviously, I'd prefer it did have zombies. I'm never going to sit here and say I want zombies to take breaks, but if that game didn't have zombies, like, that's totally fine. But COD 2027 not having zombies, then it starts to be like, all right, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't know. You know? Okay. After this game, I think I'm gonna go grab some more water because I did run out. T-Dog and Chopper had an ex-Sledgehammer developer on their podcast, and he basically said it was pretty annoying having to spread out the resources for zombies. Oh, I watched that podcast, yeah. But that makes sense because he's a multiplayer developer, right? He wasn't a zombies developer, so it was understandable why he would feel that way, because it's like, of course, he's going to be working on his own mode. He wants his mode to have more resources. He doesn't want to have to give up resources for zombies, understandably. And I'm sure the zombies developers would feel the opposite, where they're annoyed that they have to share resources with multiplayer, but I do think that's kind of just part of the game, and I do think COD should be putting more resources towards their games overall. Again, I feel like they make enough money to the point where they should be able to do that, but I don't know.
Listen, fuckers.
I guess not.
Efficiency is key when running a business. This is me being efficient.
They're already using Avalon for zombies. Citadel and the Tomb are set in Avalon. So I think the Tomb is in Avalon. I think Citadel isn't, though. Citadel is okay, it's in Avalon, the fictional country, but it's not on the Avalon map, as far as I'm aware. That's what I've heard. But yeah, it is set in like in the Avalon country, though.
Today's special.
I think it's just meant to be like a fictional France, right? Is that basically what it is? I don't know. The fact that we're closer to Black Ops 7 than Shattered Veil, almost, that is true. I mean, we're real close to DLC 4. I'd imagine we're going to start getting teasers for that next week. Which I am going to be on vacation next week, so I'm kind of hoping they don't start teasing it next week. I might bring a laptop just so I could like make a video on it anyways, but I don't want to make videos while I'm on vacation. Come on. Next thing, they'll add a kill cam of zombie killing you and make it more like Warzone. Hell yes. Actually, they kind of did add that, right? With the whole... No, I like that they added that, though. It was cool. It's not really a kill cam, but I kind of like the little end... What is it? The death animation that they do. We need a zombies-themed game that you've been talking about. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Could have a zombies-themed Warzone map that could be used for open-world zombies. It would be so good. I'd love to see Extinction return to switch things up, but I do wish we got more Infinite Warfare zombies. It had that unique character to it and knew what it wanted to be. Yeah, I said this before, like, I don't see Extinction happening again, but I would definitely prefer that over no zombies any day of the week. I won't have a problem with MW4 having a modern aesthetic if it's heavily graphical upgrade. I think you mean you're just saying the graphics are better, right? Since it'll be on the new Xbox. Yeah, I think it'll definitely look really good. I think it's going to be one of the best looking CODs. But yeah, I am worried that it's going to be a little gray though. I hope they go colorful with it. Because Modern Warfare 2019 looked really good, but it was also really boring to look at, in my opinion. For normal Treyarch zombies, though, I think BO3 and BO4 are the best. Something in between that. I don't really care much for the modern mechanics as much. Yeah, no, I agree. They should go back to, like, BO3 mechanics for sure. BO4 is kind of like a mix of the two, but... I know most people don't like BO4 mechanics, including myself. I'm not, like, huge on them. Get out of here. Oh, wait, is there a Wonder Fizz? Oh, it's not up here. Never mind. Yeah, of course they removed the Wonder Fizz. They don't want this to be too easy.
Enjoy your prize for uglies and show how you cut.
Oh, we're about to get destroyed. Oh, God. I need more ammo for this.
Tough luck, tank face. No giant stuff
Honestly,
there.
my take is all the companies essentially work on all the games nowadays. I'd rather a year or two off COD in general than just zombies. I think they maybe need to take a year off just so they can like catch up with everything. Because like I think COVID really messed them up. Because COVID happened, it clearly set back some of the games, and they just never delayed any of them. So I think we're still seeing the effects of that to this day, I think. But I think if they were to take a year off, they can kind of get things back on track and figure it out. But I don't really think these games, like Call of Duty is not the type of game that needs more than 3 or 4 years of development time. I don't think they need longer than that. I mean, like once you start getting to like 5 years of development time, it's like, that's like full on like games have that. Like GTA 6 was probably made in like, I would like to say maybe like 7 years, maybe. Like I don't think Call of Duty needs to be anything close to a 7-year development game. You know what I mean? It just doesn't need that. It's very, very...
This is
I don't
what we
know.
call pre-gaming.
I'm just guessing GTA had that development time because I'm assuming they didn't start like really working on GTA 6 until Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, but I could be wrong. Who knows? So that would be what, like, yeah, about 7 years, right? 7 or 8 maybe. And like Call of Duty, they have 3 developers. Or like 3 main development studios. Obviously there's Raven as well and some other studios. So like even with that, they can still do like if they were to do like a 1-year gap after every COD, that would be a 6-year development time for every COD. I just don't think they need all that. It's Call of Duty. Like it's, you know what I mean? I think like 16 multiplayer maps, 2 zombies maps, you know, 5-hour campaign. That's really all you need. Just make it more in depth. I don't know. That's all I'm asking for when it comes to zombies, you know. Like BO3, I think nailed it. Like I'm BO, except for campaign, obviously. BO3 nailed pretty much everything else. Infinite Warfare, I think, nailed most of it as well. Like these games already did nail it. I just think they need to get back on track with what they were doing then. You know, that's all I need. But 1 year off, I'd be fine with that. Or take a year off and do like a remastered Call of Duty that year or something. I don't know, like World at War remastered. Why not? Knowing what Lee Ross wanted to do with the Ether story, nah, I'm good. What do you want to do with the Ether story? I never heard about that. But he wouldn't have any control over the Ether story anyways, right? He's doing his own thing. Oh, wait, are you talking about... I think he said something about making a map just like he did with Extinction, where it like was all a movie. But like, I don't really like. Maybe this is a hot take, crazy hot take. I don't really see the issue with it because he's also doing his own thing in the meantime. So it's like you don't have to look at his thing as like meaningful whatsoever to the full story. I feel that way about Extinction even. Call me crazy, but I think them doing that, it doesn't mean Extinction isn't still existing as a storyline. It still exists there, right? Him saying it was just a movie Willard Wyler made. Well, Infinite Warfare is also not real. Like, it's also just a fictional story. Like, it's a fictional story within a fictional story at that point, but they're all fictional stories. Maybe I make no sense in saying that, I don't know, but I don't think it necessarily ruins it, you know? It's like if a new Star Wars movie came out and they were like, oh, it's all a dream. Obviously, I would think that's pretty stupid, but it wouldn't affect the Star Wars movies. They would still be their own stories that were really good. Like, I wouldn't all of a sudden be like, oh my God, they ruined Star Wars. No, it's still Star Wars. It still exists as a story. This new Star Wars movie just decided to be weird about it and make it all a dream for some reason. I don't know, but who cares about that? Forget that exists. That's just the way I see media and fiction. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. 20 kills with 1 rocket? Oh, I'm not getting that here. Nah, never mind. I need to pack a bunch for that. Come on. This dude is not gonna die. And he's a beefy man. Oh, we're dead.
Looks like today's not your day.
Oh, it doesn't have to be 1 rocket? Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see. Damn. All right, that's okay. I wanted water, so I'm so thirsty. The tomb's gonna definitely be the longest for us, I think. T-Dog versus T-Dog. That'll be the day. Yeah. T-Dog from The Walking Dead. All right, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna grab a water and maybe use the bathroom. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. I'm back. Okay. The tomb, let's do it. We are not using the rocket launcher anymore though. Fuck that. I don't know. I'll put on the PPSH just for shits and gigs. Okay, let's do it. Start mission. I don't know why I'm still using Frenzied Guard though. I don't need that. They should use some World War II maps and make them into zombies maps and just spice up the layout a bit. World War II? You mean like multiplayer maps? Or do you mean like the zombies maps? Okay. We chilling. Needed that water though. My throat was killing me. It'd be cool if... Is that the Ancient Evil music? Why do they got the Ancient Evil music here? I don't know, but I'm liking it. It'd be cool if older zombies maps had full main quest BO4 style and have multiple steps, because imagine Kino with an Easter egg. I mean, that's basically what they did with, like, you know, maps like what, D Machine, you know, taking Noct and then giving it a full Easter egg. Or Shinonuma Reborn is a better example. Giving Shinonuma a full Easter egg.
And I'll do it again. Just
That's kind of what their concept was behind that, I guess. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of the cell shaded look. I just don't, it just looks ugly to me. I don't know. It probably looks even worse on stream. Like, I can't imagine how it looks for you guys right now. It probably just looks so, like, it just looks like the textures haven't loaded in. Like, it doesn't look cartoony. It literally just looks like textures haven't loaded in. So, not a fan. This should be a permanent mode with leaderboards, 100%. We definitely need more permanent modes. Looks blurry. Yeah, that's the issue. It literally just looks like blurry, low-rendered textures. I don't know. Not really my thing. I think we'll finally be done with the COVID effect with MW4. There's no excuse for that game not to be good. Infinity Ward hasn't been doing much since MW2. That's true. But if it's not gonna have zombies, I'm just not gonna care about the game as much. But yeah, no, you're like, as a full game, you're completely right. Like, I do think that game is gonna be very polished. My worry is Infinity Ward's design hasn't been great, in my opinion, since, like, they haven't had, in my opinion, a well-designed game since Infinite Warfare. So I feel like it's not going to be a game I'm going to love that much, but I hope to be wrong. I hope they change their design philosophies. Hopefully the game is more like the type of multiplayer that I like. Will it be though? I don't know. Unlikely. But we'll see.
Max armor.
I think that campaign's probably going to be great though. And then for like the third mode, DMZ, whatever, I don't know. I want zombies, man. I'm sorry. I just think it would be so cool to see what I was like talking about before, like a realistic, grounded, like gritty zombies mode. Oh my god, that can go so hard, man. It really could. Just for like 1 year, just seeing what that would be like. Imagine a Treyarch game / zombies experience with a second year, but that's probably not going to happen though, because we're still going to be getting a new Call of Duty the next year. You know, MW4 is still going to happen in 2026, and I'd be surprised if Treyarch was still making zombies content for Black Ops 7 even into MW4's life cycle. It's possible if it's like a Zombies Chronicles kind of a deal, but I wouldn't see any. I don't think they'll do anything else than that. You know, which could still be really cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, that could be really fun, but I don't think it's going to be like, you know, a whole year 2 of content sort of a deal. But even if it was, I think I'd still prefer MW4 zombies. Crazy enough. I don't know. Unless Black Ops 7 is like the greatest thing ever, but we'll see. Who knows? Who knows?
Double points.
What multiplayer map would you guys want as a zombies map? Mutiny from COD Ghosts. It's on a pirate ship. I want a pirate ship zombies map so bad. Honestly, I thought Terminus was going to be pirate themed. It has like a little bit of pirate influence there, like with that one little side quest, but I was hoping it was going to be like fucking pirate ship, like an actual pirate ship. I think that would have been so sick. Looks blurry. Yeah, 100%.
How'd you like that? Skittering axe wound.
Might be a hot take, but I love MW2. I'm assuming you're referring to the new MW2. Because I feel like that would only be a hot take if you were referring to the new MW2. But yeah, no, I think some people like it. I'm personally didn't, but I can respect it.
That'll really burst your brain.
Beating the shit out of the vermin.
Max ammo.
Things are pretty dog shit as it is.
NW 2018 wasn't affected by COVID, just saying. Yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, it came out before it. Well, yeah, it definitely wasn't because it came out before it. I mean, some of the DLC might have been, but I don't, not by a significant
Was that so
amount.
hard? You don't always need to be such a massive twat.
Ooh, look at this. We got the VMP. I only unlocked this recently, actually. I mean, I really hope if they do carry forward, I don't really want them to do carry forward, to be honest, but if they do carry forward, I don't want them to say, oh, we can't add the VMP because there already is a blueprint of the VMP for the AK-74. I think that'd be so stupid. Like, just give me the VMP, man. Come on. This is no VMP. It just slightly resembles it. DMC sounds better than Get High, if you ask me. I honestly don't believe Get High is going to be the third mode. I don't believe that for a second. Like, I know the leak kind of makes it sound that way, and like the Ghost of Hope is saying he thinks Get High will be the third mode. I can't see a world where that happens because that's not going to feel like, that's not a co-op mode. Nobody's going to look at that and be like, oh yeah, the third co-op mode. No, it's not a co-op mode, you know? It's a fun little thing. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Get High. It's really cool. I thought it was one of the coolest things MW3 did. But it's not a co-op mode. You're not fighting anyone. It's a free run, like parkour speedrun mode. Fun. I'd love to play it a bunch. I hope they have a couple maps available in that game for it, for sure. But a third mode? No! Like, what are we doing? I don't think it's going to be that. I honestly think there's a chance we still get zombies, and if we don't get zombies, they'll probably do some sort of, like, Spec Ops alternative. I don't see them doing dinosaurs. People are talking about dinosaurs. If they're going to do anything supernatural, it's going to be zombies. Because anything that's not zombies and supernatural is, like... They wouldn't do that. They just wouldn't. I'm sorry, they wouldn't. And if they were to, I'm always gonna think, why not just do zombies then? Like, if you want to do dinosaurs, just do a dinosaur-themed zombies map, bro.
You see that, Peck?
Which I know someone's gonna say Shattered Veil, but that's not really dinosaur-themed just because there's a dinosaur boss fight. But you know, I'm talking like a full-on like Jurassic Park map. You know, I think that'd be sick. Do I want that for the full game? Not really, but as one map, that'd be great. Kind of like dragons were like on Garad Krovi, but they weren't the entire game though, you know? It wasn't dragon mode, it was just one map with dragons. Which was pretty cool.
Wouldn't try to unlock a knockoff on me, would you?
I don't know. I'm fine with DMZ, I am, but I don't think it should be a replacement for zombies still though. I think DMZ is more, to me it always felt more like a Warzone mode. Like, you know, it should be connected to Warzone. And technically, if we're gonna get technical about it, technically that was the case. Because think about it. In MW2, there was DMZ, but then there was also the Spec Ops co-op mode that had raids and then Spec Ops missions, right? So why not do DMZ, but then instead of doing raids and Spec Ops, do zombies? So you have DMZ and zombies, boom. Everyone's happy. Everyone and their mother's happy. Because, like, let's be honest. Look, I know some people like raids, but, like, do we really need them? I don't know. I don't think we do. I thought raids were so uninteresting because they made them exclusive to needing 3 players. I thought that was stupid. At the end of the day, it's just like, bro, it's just a campaign mission at the end of the day. Okay, I know raids were definitely much longer than campaign missions, and they were a lot more in depth. They were cool. Like, don't get me wrong, they were cool concept. But I want just do that same concept with zombies. I don't. Why not? You know. COD Ghosts killed it with the DLC maps. Oh, they definitely did with the multiplayer maps, 100%. Do you think 4 years for BO6 and BO7 is enough? No. I think each game individually should have at least 3 years development time. So if you do 2 games in 4 years, that's really only like 2 years for each game, so I don't think it was enough. But 3 years is perfectly fine. Like 3 to 4 is good for 1 game. There's a World of War custom map set on a pirate ship. Yeah, I think they actually like remastered it for Black Ops 3, or they did some pirate map on Black Ops 3 as well. I don't know if it was a remaster or not, but yeah, I want a zombies map like that, an official one. The only thing that should carry forward is weapons. I don't really want weapons to carry forward. Okay, well, it depends. I think weapons carrying forward, like in places here or there, is okay. Like for zombies, for example, I wouldn't mind if like some of the weapons appear on the wall or whatever, but I don't want a system where it's like every gun from BO6 and BO7 is in the box. That would be horrible. Oh my god. Just having a bloat of mystery box weapons on every map, that would kill me. Some of the guns, putting them on the wall or something, that's fine. Whatever. You said many times about old mechanics you want in BO7, but what about new mechanics? I definitely have ideas. It's hard to think of one off the top of my head, though. Here's the thing. A lot of my ideas for mechanics are either based off of old mechanics and just like building off of them, because I definitely shared those in the past, like building off of the classic point system, for example, or building off of the loadout system and doing like, you know, no loadouts by default, but if you want this like separate, I had an idea about like a pick 10 system in zombies that like allows you to have that, but you have to give up other things in order to get your loadout weapon. Like as an example, if you want your loadout weapon, if you want to spawn in with any gun, you have to give up perk slots, for example. So you can't have unlimited perk slots, no perk limit, if you want to spawn in with any gun. Like that was an example I had that I thought was kind of an interesting idea. But as for like new mechanics, most of my ideas are like map specific things, to be honest. Like I think they need to stop having so many game centric mechanics that are across the entire game, and they need to dial into map specific mechanics. Go back, like Afterlife, great example from like Mob of the Dead. Like it's a map specific thing that was so focused on just that map. They didn't throw that into every map. They didn't say every map needs some kind of Afterlife system. Instead, they just dialed it on that one system. Like I think they need to go further with those type of ideas. And so I'm trying to think of like other mechanics that I would like to see, though. I don't know. When I think of something, I'll let you know. I have a whole document with ideas. Most of them are like very map specific, though. Like I have this whole concept about these enchanted wands. They're like wonder weapons, but it's not really like a mechanic. It's more of a wonder weapon idea. Get High fills the same role as Dead Ups Arcade. Yeah, I think that's a good point, actually. Yeah. It's not really like, you know, third mode material. Like, you wouldn't want Dead Ups Arcade to be the only third mode option for zombies. You would want, you know, zombies alongside Dead Ups. Like, regular zombies. What the fuck is Get High? Get High was an LTM that they added. Actually, it wasn't really an LTM because it's still available to this day. It was an LTM, I think, at first, and then they added it back permanently. To Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, where it was basically like a parkour speedrun experience where you go through this course to like try to see how fast you can get through it. It was really fun. I loved it. But it's not a third mode material, not at all. And honestly, I think that concept would actually work better with zombies. Funny enough, it's funny how it always goes back to zombies, but I think that concept, like the parkour map, would be so much fun in zombies. Like, think about like Cheese Cube. Custom fans know what I'm talking about. Cheese Cube is so much fun. Imagine an official version of Cheese Cube in zombies. Oh my god, man. That could be so cool. And I think using the Get High map would actually work perfectly.
Max armor.
Oh. You know, honestly, I would have said I don't mind operators carrying forward, but ever since they added the American Dad and the Beavis and Butthead, I kind of don't want the operators to carry forward anymore. But honestly, before that, I would have been fine with it. I just don't like that change in the art style operators. I think they're just kind of an eyesore. But the other ones I didn't mind the Squid Game ones, even the Ninja Turtles, whatever. I wouldn't care if those were in Black Ops 7. Cheese Cube is not fun, it's pain. No, it's such good pain though. It's such good pain. I would love that in like official Treyarch Zombies. I feel like some of the special enemy designs for BO6 are very generic and a bit boring. I kind of agree. They're a little too, I don't know, repetitive. Like, there's way too many bosses that grapple first. Like, you already have the Mimic that grapples, and they had to have the Amalgam grapple too. Like, come on. Like, even the ones that are really cool, like, I like the Toxic Zombies. They are very generic. We've seen stuff like that before. Like, I do agree. They haven't really had any, like, really unique ideas in this game when it comes to bosses. Ow. No way we get a Sledgehammer game with no zombies. That is actually true to think about it. We've never had a Sledgehammer Call of Duty game without zombies before. Even though only one of them was actually made by Sledgehammer, they've all had zombies in some way, shape, or form.
Why'd it light up like that? Someone put a 20
I just don't think Activision wants zombies being made by people who aren't Treyarch. They have tried and everyone hated on it, so I'm worried if zombies is yearly, Treyarch has to make it or oversee it. But like, how is Spec Ops gonna do better for the game than zombies? You know what I mean? Like, you might think, okay, they don't want any other studio to make it because, you know, it might not perform as well, but Modern Warfare Zombies, as messy as it was, is still the most played co-op mode in Modern Warfare history. When I saw that statistic, I was like, no way Activision's not gonna find a way to get zombies in every single game. And why does Treyarch have to make it? It makes no sense. Treyarch is not like, Zombies does not have some secret formula. Like, as much as I love Treyarch for what they did with Zombies, I love what they did. It is not a secret formula. Anybody can make it. Literally, like, you got, you know, game developers, or not game developers, you got random people just going out and being like, you know what, I want to make a custom map. And of course, they're using assets made by Treyarch, but they're still designing these maps that are really good. Like, there's people who have made really good custom maps. So I think there's definitely people at Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward that can make damn good zombies maps, and I think they have already before. We've seen that before personally. But even if someone truly believed all of non-Treyarch has been bad,
Well,
what's the harm in trying it again? It's always to me gonna be better for the game than Spec Ops. 100%.
it's gonna take everything I have
Like-
and flip me the bird for my trouble, isn't it?
MWZ, even though it was made by Treyarch, it shows that even in a Modern Warfare game, I think people would prefer to have zombies. You know what I mean? So,
Box.
and
You know
even
exactly
Infinite Warfare
what
Zombies
go
in
on.
World War II, like, we have to keep in mind, zombies reception is highly dependent on the rest of the game. People were going into Infinite Warfare Zombies wanting to hate it just because they wanted to hate Infinite Warfare. Like, most people did not have anything against Infinite Warfare Zombies, actually. And like, I would say that's evident by the fact that everyone's going back to it nowadays and agreeing that that was actually a really damn good zombies mode, you know? Like, there's very few people who will tell you that Infinite Warfare Zombies isn't actually, like, really fun. Like, everyone I know that went back to it loves it, you know? Even World War II, a lot of people are loving it. Even people you wouldn't expect to like it, they come out of it going, actually, you know what, that was kind of fun. So, like, I don't know, you might be right, Alpha Dog, I'm not saying you're wrong, but like, I just wouldn't understand why Activision would have that mentality if they do. Because it doesn't make any sense as a mentality. And honestly, if they want to lie and say that Treyarch is making it when they're not making it, just to make people, like, at least, you know, open to trying it out, fine, I guess. But surely the other studios can make zombies. It's not a secret formula. I know it's not. And even if it was a secret formula, I'm sure they have enough developers at Treyarch where, like, they can, like, teach them the ropes of how to develop zombies, and, you know, that would go over just fine. I don't know. I don't get it, personally. Because, like, let's go back to World War II. Let's say World War II had Spec Ops instead of zombies. That would not have helped the game. It would not have helped the game. I don't think it would have helped World War II at all. It would have hurt the game. Zombies only helps it. Even if it's not received the best, it at least got more attention than Spec Ops would. You know? That's the way I see it. I feel like if you're into MW2 raids, you just play a zombies Easter egg. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like most people who liked raids, they liked it because it was different. But like, would zombies have been worse? No, I don't think so. Probably would have been better, but I don't know. That's just my take. I know I'm a piece of shit about this. I think I'm so annoying about it because I want to see different takes on zombies more than anything. That's what I want, you know? Do you think Exo Zombies ruined it for IW Zombies because it was so hated, then BO3 was so loved? Everyone hated on IWZ before it released because they thought only Treyarch can make good zombies. I would say partially, but at the same time, it's also because Infinite Warfare was just getting hate as a whole. Like, the reveal trailer got like 4 million dislikes for no reason other than space setting and boost jumps returning. That was it. That was the only reason it got so much hate. So then it just carried over to zombies for some reason. It was ahead of its time though, for sure, because I feel like that like goofy, silly zombies might work better nowadays than it would have back then. But I don't know.
We're not even close to done, are we?
Even Exo Zombies was better than Spec Ops would be though. But I would still rather play Exo Zombies than Spec Ops. And Exo Zombies is my least favorite zombies to date.
You know your prices are a bit steep.
They should make, instead of choosing your starting gun, a preference gun where you choose a gun with increased chances of appearing in the box. Yeah, I would like that. That would work. So do you think BO7 will suffer from short development time? Like, I don't know the development for BO6 and 7. Did it start at the same time? So probably both games had 4 years. I think they probably were developing back to back for a while now, but you have to split up the resources in some way. So I do think they're not really getting full 4 years in terms of like resources worth of 4 years. Maybe they were in progress for 4 years, but like I said, the resources are split up. So it's not really going to look like 4 years. You know what I mean? But I hope that BO7 had more resources put into it. That's my hope. And if it did, then maybe we'll end up getting a damn good zombies mode. Who knows? I just hope the mechanics are, you know, better than BO6. Get high or free run? Me personally, I loved free run and wish we got more levels. Get high just didn't do it for me. Non-boost jumping, parkour, and COD sucks. I think I prefer the boost jumping aspect of free run, but Get High had better rewards. Like, there was a whole reward system in Get High. You had like a cool camo you could unlock, a couple cool camos actually you could unlock for doing different things. There was a lot of little Easter eggs in Get High as well, so I preferred that about Get High. Get High music was also amazing. The soundtrack was so good. But free run, I do prefer the boost jumping aspect of that. I'll give you that. The Squid Game skins feel more out of place than the Ninja Turtles, probably because Ninja Turtles at least do fit in with the 90s theme, whereas Squid Game doesn't. But the way I feel about Squid Game fitting more is because I could see Squid Game characters holding guns. I can't see the Ninja Turtles holding guns. And that to me is like what makes a collab for me not as good, is like, I feel like you should be picking collab characters that actually make sense for why they'd be holding guns, you know? But then I also get the idea of also making it fit with the time period, and Ninja Turtles do fit with the time period better for sure. Banana Cube is better because you literally play as a monkey. I've actually never played that one. Mediocre zombies better than no zombies? Agreed, because at least we have something to talk about. But important note to point with that though, mediocre zombies as long as it's not made by Treyarch every year, because like I said, I don't want Treyarch to have their other modes messed up because of that. But if the other studios are making it, then it's no problem. It's not affecting Treyarch's games. But I would hope it end up being good. I don't want it to be mediocre. It's just, I prefer they try something and it ends up mediocre than just doing Spec Ops or whatever, you know?
Hey, I'm all for all hands on deck when it comes to teamwork.
I would like to see Dead Ops get updated over a year and see how cool it could get. Honestly, Cold War did a decent job with that. Like, they added the third-person mode and stuff like that, but seeing more updates would be pretty cool as well. I agree. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this, I'm pretty sure Dead Ops is literally made by like one person though, which is why it usually doesn't get much updates. It's, I think quite literally there's like 1 or 2 developers that are focused on making Dead Ops and that's it. Oh no, it's lagging. The best thing Activision could do is spin off Treyarch's Zombies team into their own support studio, like Raven Software for Toys for Bob, or Toys for Bob, and let them make zombies for everyone, just marketing. But see, I don't know if I would like that though, because I still want this other studios to make zombies. You know what I mean? Unless even that support studio that you're talking about was like split up even more. Like, you know what I mean? And like they had their own little separate studio, and they were big enough of a studio to be able to do zombies every year like that, you know? But I still prefer the studios. I'm telling you, like 2014 to 2018 was perfect with it. Not every zombies map was perfect in that time, but like in terms of the structure of it, I think it was perfect. Though I will never forget that time period for zombies. I thought it was so much fun. If they refuse to let other studios make zombies, at the very least, they should be allowed to make a really special mode like Extinction. Yo, I would prefer that over nothing for sure, but I don't think that would happen. Like, if they're not gonna let them do zombies, they're not gonna let them do Extinction. You know, that's the way I see it. I think it's more likely they'll do zombies, but yeah, I agree with you there, though. Other zombies modes were not accepted by quite a number of people, but Extinction seemed to gain more of a cult following, less than a hate mob. Unlike the zombies modes where people straight up disqualified it because it wasn't fair. To be fair though, people have been going back to Infinite Warfare and World War II and actually really liking it. I haven't seen a single person go back to those games and like say it was shit or something. Like everyone nowadays is actually like pretty positive on it. I mean, even everyone in the comments, like I haven't seen a single person in the comments say they hate Infinite Warfare or World War II zombies. I'm sure some of you do, but nobody's like actively hating on it as much, I guess. I don't know. I think it's just time and place. Maybe it was just a bad time. Like people were just hating COD in general. Everyone was going Fortnite. It was just not the best time for COD. Even if COD's like content, in my opinion, was some of the best we've ever seen during that time, it's just a matter of the community was just, they wanted to play Fortnite. I don't know. You know? I think people knowing Treyarch did zombies gets more people to buy the COD. A lot of my friends only bought Vanguard because Treyarch made it. If it was Sledgehammer, they wouldn't have bought it because X was zombies. Yeah, well, maybe they just got to market. As long as they market it better, though. I mean, like, World War II zombies got a lot of hype for it. You know, people didn't love it when it, like, the DLC was coming out, but when it comes to the launch of it, there was a lot of excitement for that because it was like, looked like classic, like, you know, horror-focused zombies. That got people excited, even if it was Sledgehammer making it. So, I don't know. I think it could work. But yeah, like I said before, if they want to say Treyarch made it and then like actually Sledgehammer did, I mean, that's kind of fucked up, but obviously Sledgehammer should get the credit if they made it. But like at the very least, that would get people into it and then maybe be like, haha, gotcha, bitch. And then like a month later, they're like, actually Sledgehammer made it, you know? Just to see if people's perception changes. But regardless, nowadays I feel like people are a bit different. I think they would be fine with it. Again, I think it would be better than nothing, you know? It would certainly be better than Get High. I'm telling you, Get High is not a third mode material. No matter what they do with it, unless they throw zombies in it, then I don't know. I don't know that's gonna work as a third mode. Okay, I want to continue playing this as long as possible, but I do have to go in like 20 minutes, so I want to go try out Shattered Veil for a bit. So I'm gonna let the zombie kill me. Just gonna let him kill me. Because we can probably go on for a while. This first room's pretty easy. What's up, Derpy? How you doing? I'm definitely hyped for Black Ops 7. I would say I'm more hyped than most people, surprisingly. Even though I've been like really, you know, hating on a lot of modern zombie stuff and a lot of recent Call of Duty things. I'm like still really excited because I feel like it's gonna be different. Whether it's zombies multiplayer, like I think they're gonna do some really different things next year, or this fall, I guess. I could be wrong though. We'll find out August, whenever the reveal event is. It's August 19th, is it? I forget, something like that. If BO7 has at least the same amount of resources as BO6, if BO7 has at least the same amount of resources as BO6 has, would be very good, I guess. I think the launch content of BO6 was very good. Hopefully BO7 is the same amount of launch content. I just think the maps need more depth. Like, obviously there's enough maps in the game. Like, we're gonna have 6 maps at the end of the season. That's fine. But like, the maps just need more to them. We need longer Easter eggs, more in-depth quests, more in-depth features, more unique content too. I feel like in terms of like new stuff, there's not a lot, you know, like new wonder weapons. Most of the wonder weapons have been reused. And then in terms of what is it? Field upgrades, they've just kind of, like, again, with field upgrades, they've been kind of like reusing a lot of them as well. And then there's been I don't really want field upgrades to return at all, to be honest. I want them to do specialist weapons, but that's a whole nother conversation. And special enemies have been kind of a problem in this year too. I definitely want them to like go further with that. So I definitely hope it's more resources than BO6, because all those problems I just mentioned I think is due to lack of resources, which is why I'm hoping those resources are put into Black Ops 7 instead. Yes, it's a full expansion with their own resources. We don't get the diversity going from BO3 to IW, etc., but at least the games won't be half-baked. That's fair. But like I said, that BO3 to BO4 is just, that's what I want. I want to copy and paste of that. Open world zombies needs to be free and have a super studio dedicated to it and updated over years like Warzone. If Treyarch has to make it and focus on round-based, then it'd always be trash. I actually would love that. Yeah, if open world zombies had its own studio behind it and it was free to play, it'd be a great way to get people into zombies too. You get them into this open world experience, and then you say, oh, by the way, if you want to play more and get more rewards and stuff, you got to buy the full game for it, you know? That'd be cool. I got cooked in your comments for saying karate moves don't make sense in multiplayer. I honestly don't think that karate thing is what we think it is at all. I really don't. I feel like it's nothing like what we think. Like, everyone's thinking of it as like a, whoa, like that's what we're all, I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think maybe it's like they updated the punching, so maybe the punching is more pronounced and there's more like to it. There's more moves you can do maybe. And maybe one of the moves happens to be like a karate chop, maybe, but it's not like the only moveset you can do. I could see that. But I don't think it's going to be some crazy thing that's going to like change multiplayer. I think it's just like a gimmick that they'll throw in there for fun, which is fine. I don't mind gimmicks like that.
Get on with that, you overblown slot machine. He's pretty, but can he type?
IW Zombies is great. I just hate the zombie AI and knifing. Otherwise, it's a fun game. Yeah, the zombie AI could have used some work for sure. But I guess it was their first time trying zombies, so that's why it was kind of rough. I'm not a fan of how the zombie AI works nowadays either. Like, BO2 and BO3 will always have the best zombie AI in my opinion. Even World War II Zombies is pretty good zombie AI. I really like that game for its AI. Like, BO2 is probably perfect though. Kind of want them to go back to that. I definitely noticed a lot of hate for World War II. Some people rank it lower than EXO and definitely below World at War, which I always find shocking because there are many fantastic features in World War II. I'm gonna be honest, Tiger, I think most people didn't even play it. I genuinely think, this is not saying everyone, if someone doesn't like World War II, that's fine. I do believe that most people who hate on it though did not really play it that much. Because whenever I talk to someone who hates it, 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, I didn't really play it that much. I kind of just played the launch map, and I didn't really play it more than twice or whatever. Like, they don't know half of the features that are in it, you know? So I think that is the case. But I also think a lot of people hated on it because it was too hard, which, again, I'm not saying everyone who hates it is hating it because of that, but I do think people just thought it was too complicated, or they thought it was too, you know, frustrating, because it was a frustrating game, to be honest. I like that about it though. The challenge of it was fun as hell. Some people just don't like that though. And then I also think some people thought it was too visually bland, because it was obviously the maps were more trying to be like a horror focused experience, so some of the maps were a bit less colorful. I thought they were colorful when they needed to be. Frozen Dawn was pretty colorful, you know. It didn't make sense why Darkest Shore would be like a really colorful map when it wasn't trying to be that, so I didn't have a problem with it, you know. It was trying to go for that horror aesthetic. I understand why it was kind of gray, but some of the maps were colorful though. Boom. Oh, these guys are gonna kill us. All these guys are gonna kill us. They are gonna kill us. Zombies should be a standalone game with its own original maps, old maps, custom map maker with all zombies assets, its own servers, and update the game with new assets when new things come out. That won't happen for a lot of reasons, but like, I don't know. Part of me says that would be good, but also part of me, well, I don't know. Like, I do like how COD works in like the way that we get a new game and like it's, you know, got campaign multiplayer zombies. I do like that. But like, you are right that it's not working out that well anymore, just in terms of like the modes feeling too similar to each other. And I do think a zombie standalone game could allow itself to really stand itself apart. But I don't see it happening just because I don't think Activision has enough faith in zombies to do that. Like, I just don't think they do. And I don't know if they're right or not. Like, I have no clue if that game would actually be successful. But I don't know. Guess we'll probably not know ever because I don't think they're going to do it, but it would be cool though. It would.
You just made Maya's top 10 grossest experiences ever.
But I do worry though, if you were to have a game like that, the mechanics would be the same, and like you would have to do very different maps. Like I'm talking like very, very different maps to make it stand itself apart with very unique map specific mechanics too. Then maybe I could see that working, but I don't know. I have high hopes about BO7 multiplayer. Zombies, I'm unsure about. I kind of feel a similar way. Like, obviously, I'm worried about skill-based matchmaking and multiplayer and stuff like that, but I think they're going to do a much better job with that multiplayer than BO6. Especially because Sledgehammer is working on it, too, apparently. Apparently. That's a rumor. I don't think it's confirmed. But I want to unlock Frost Blast again. Definitely want to unlock that again. I think a non-Treyarch game could succeed today. The problem was that Treyarch was just so loved pre-BO4 that no one could compete. Yeah, and nowadays Treyarch gets a lot of hate for their zombies, so that's why I'm thinking it might be the best time to do it, you know? Get some fresh blood in there.
Max armor.
Oh god, oh god. What would your reaction be if Janus Towers also reuses wonder weapons? Disappointment, but it depends on the wonder weapon, I guess. Like if it's a really cool wonder weapon that we haven't seen in a while, maybe I'd be okay with it, but I'd still be disappointed regardless though. They need a new wonder weapon for sure. At least one new wonder weapon. I mean, if the map has one new wonder weapon and one reused wonder weapon, then that's fine, but you know, it's gotta have at least one new wonder weapon. I hope there's no loadouts in BO7, and yes, the maps to be more layered and creative than BO6 maps. Agreed, 100%. Yeah, the first thought I was thinking of with the karate and zombies, I was thinking of Shaolin Shuffle. Even if that's not, technically, is Kung Fu different? Kung Fu's different, right? It's not technically the same as karate. Maybe it's under the same sphere, but it's not the same thing, you know? BO2 is perfect for training. Agreed. Training in BO2 feels so smooth. Can I hit the box, please? Damn.
Point, I don't care if it shoots fucking acorns, so long as the job gets done.
Move! What is this? Nothing that I want.
That's a relief. I was sure you'd have me over a barrel.
I hate how BO2
Again.
Zombies has walkers on high rounds. I don't mind that, though. I like when the difficulty isn't about the zombies being so fast. I like when the difficulty is the map design kind of like ties you back in a corner, you know? That's what I prefer. I kind of think high rounding nowadays gets a little bit too much with like the zombies just sprinting at you full speed and like, I don't know, okay, it's a bit much. I'm not like crazy about it. It's challenging for sure when you get in the high rounds in this game, but I think that's not my favorite type of challenge that zombies could give, you know? I love how BO2 feels, even though I love BO3. The smooth movement, 3-hit system also kind of takes away from some of the charm, and also every BO2 map feels completely different. Yeah, I think both feel good though. Nowadays it's like you get fucking, the hitting kind of, the damage scales, so like it makes it so the early rounds are a little too easy though. Like, it's very hard to go down the early rounds in this game. Oh yes, melee, melee.
I ain't your fucking Sango.
This LTM's fun and all, but I don't think I'd play it that much, to be honest. I don't know. I'm having fun with it, though. I think it should be permanent. I'll probably try to go for the rewards when I have more time. Because I know you gotta get to like round 40 for the rewards, I think. Oh, stop giving me green guns.
Wouldn't try to
If Sledgehammer and IW make zombies, they need to stop trying to make a story at the very most, have it be a story for one map, like we thought Mob was. A lot of the times it feels the story holds back the maps. I don't really think story held back those games, though, because the maps were so damn creative regardless. The stories weren't like the best. I mean, actually, I think World War II Zombies arguably has one of the best stories that Zombies has had. I don't think it's like incredible, but it's pretty good. Infinite Warfare story wasn't the focus at all, though. Like, I don't think story held that back at all. That was such a afterthought, and I thought that was fine that it was an afterthought, because like you said, it was just kind of like they were able to be very creative with it without making the story this big thing.
I'll tell you the same.
It existed, there was a story, but it was like it didn't matter. They did whatever the hell they wanted with the maps regardless, you know. If they wanted a map in the 50s with monsters, like, they could do that. It doesn't matter. If they wanted a map with kung fu in the 70s in New York, they can do that. Like, that's what I love about Infinite Warfare more than anything. They can just do whatever the hell they wanted with it, you know. Zombies having its own leveling system like BO3 would be an improvement. I agree with that. Like, obviously the gun levels being connected makes sense, but I hate the full like prestige levels being the same. Because I like seeing the true like level of somebody when I'm playing a mode. Like, if I'm playing multiplayer and someone's Prestige Master, I want to know that they actually played multiplayer that much to get to Prestige Master, instead of being like, oh, they just played zombies a bunch, you know. Because like, even me, I'm Prestige 9. I probably played like 1 prestige worth of multiplayer in this game. So like, it's a big difference, you know. It just, I want to see it. Oh shit, Wonderwaff.
You know, boss.
Okay, I gotta go in like 3 minutes, so I think I'm gonna
Discreetly.
call it short
I can make
in
that happen.
a little bit. We'll do like 1 or 2 more rounds. Fun little stream.
You want to be friends today? Is that it?
I running it in BO6 is horrible if you try to train. Yeah, it's more about camping in this game for sure. Make the mystery box great again. Well, yeah, you gotta remove loadouts for that for sure. Remove loadouts, remove rarities, go back to what BO3 was like. BO3 handled it very, very well in my opinion. Just take the one thing that they could do that's different is unique wall weapons per map. Infinite Warfare did that actually. Like, every map should have very unique wall weapons. I've been called picky for this, but we need new perk logos for BO7. That was one of my favorite parts of new games, was seeing the new logos. In a perfect world, I would want to see new logos for every map, like Shadows of Evil. I definitely think the logos should look a little different, because they actually don't. I mean, it depends on the HUD. Like, I want a zombie's unique HUD. It depends on the map, but I think a map like Terminus needs like darker toned perk icons like Shadows of Evil, because the really cartoony, bright perk icons do not look good on Terminus, in my opinion. They're so out of place. Like, it's part of the reason I don't like this HUD. It just looks weird. I don't know.
What's what you get for splattering your slop all over my good boots?
Bonus points.
I'm level 871 and I've played 0 seconds of multiplayer. Holy shit. That's what I mean. Like, if you get in a lobby with you in multiplayer, people are going to be shitting their pants thinking you're going to be like the most insane multiplayer guy ever, but you've never even played it. So like, that's kind of what I mean, yeah. One thing that's good about modern zombies is that going back to pre-Cold War games, I die a lot thinking I have more hits. That is true. The older games are a lot harder now, going back to them. So it is fun doing that, revisiting them. In my opinion, COD has stagnated in terms of creativity. The franchise needs to start embracing bolder and more original ideas. We have too many games set in the modern era with little originality. Yeah, the problem is actually, I would say the worst part about it is that it's not the developers lacking creativity, because they are very creative people, 100%. The issue is that any little bit of creativity is seen as like this terrible thing by majority of the fan base, so they just don't do it anymore. I mean, the one time COD decided to do something very, very different and go to space, we had a space-themed game. The trailer got 4 million dislikes. So like that was like the moment where they were like, okay, we can't be creative anymore. We have to force ourselves to not be creative anymore with Call of Duty, because apparently people just don't like creativity, and it's unfortunate. I wouldn't be surprised if like the futuristic stuff in BO7 is gonna get some hate too. But I do agree though, they need to go further with creative stuff like that. Like if it was up to me, we would have a game set in the medieval era with futuristic weapons that are brought from a time traveler. Like I had a whole idea for a COD campaign where like it's set in medieval times, you're playing as a medieval knight, and then some like army from the future comes and like tries to take over this kingdom in the medieval era, and you're fighting these futuristic soldiers with a sword, and then you take the futuristic weapons, and then now you're trying to use futuristic weapons yourself as a medieval like knight. You're a medieval knight, right? You're trying to learn how to use futuristic weapons. That's the whole game. That'd be fucking great. The whole game would have that medieval aesthetic, but it would all be with futuristic like weapons. Oh my god, man. That would be it. That would be the thing that would really set COD apart, right? Like, look, I'm a very big defender of COD sticking to what it's really good at in terms of mechanics and setting, like not a setting, mechanics and like gameplay. So like 6v6 multiplayer should stay. Pick 10 or some sort of pick 10 like system in multiplayer should stay. They haven't done that in a while, but they should bring it back. Zombies, round based, should stay. All these stuff should stay. But the setting, the tone, the aesthetic, that should change. We need very different tones and aesthetics, right? We can't keep doing, oh, there's a missile that us military soldiers need to destroy. Like, we can't do that every year. We can't. Not every year is like that, but a lot of them are, especially the Modern Warfare games. It's like, there's missiles we gotta destroy. It's just always that shit. It's like, come on. I hope Modern Warfare 4 is not like that, man. Okay, I gotta get going. Fun stream though. Had a really good time with it. Is it really gonna be 2 years without zombies? That's the rumor right now, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I feel like I really do think Sledgehammer is gonna end up doing it, even though apparently it's not planned. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. All right. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out the videos and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you on my next one. Peace out.